Hello friends, welcome to the session on digital electronics. In this session, we'll be discussing about odd synchronous counters. Normally, a counter can count 2 raised to n pulses where the value of n can be 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore, a counter can count 2 pulses, 4 pulses, 8 pulses, 16 pulses. But many times we need to count odd number of pulses such as 3 pulses, 5 pulses, 10 pulses. And in such a case, the counters that are designed to count such number of pulses are being called as the odd synchronous counters. In this session, we will see what we mean by mod 5 and mod 10 synchronous counters. And also, we will see the concept of ring counter. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and do subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subject of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the concept what we mean by odd synchronous counters. We know that the logic circuit that is being used for counting of the input square pulses is being called as a counter. So counter is a logic circuit which can count the input pulses, and there are many applications where such circuit is useful. We know that there are two types of counters. The first counter is being called as the asynchronous counter, and the second type is called as synchronous counter. In case of a synchronous counter, the clock pulse is not simultaneously applied to all the flip-flops, but in case of synchronous counters, the clock pulse is simultaneously applied to all the flip-flops. Synchronous counters many times are called as the parallel counters, while asynchronous counters are called as the serial counters or ripple counters. As I told you, in case of synchronous counter, all the flip-flops are simultaneously applied with the clock pulse, and therefore the state of each flip-flop is changed whenever one clock pulse is applied. And therefore we can say that synchronous counters are comparatively faster counters than that of the asynchronous counters. Any counter can count 2 raised to n pulses, where the value of n can be 1, 2, 3, and therefore we can say that any counter can count the pulses such as 2, 4, 8, and 16. But many times we require the counting of the pulses, and the count is not an even number, but sometimes it is an odd number. Such counters, we call them as the odd synchronous counters because they can count odd number of pulses which are not in the powers of 2. For example, we can design the counters such as mod 3 counter which can count only 3 pulses, mod 5 counter which can count only 5 pulses, or mod 10 counter which can count 10 number of pulses. So mod 10 counter many times is being called as a decade counter. So whenever we want to design a synchronous counter which can count odd number of pulses, then the first step that we need to perform is we need to decide how many flip-flops are required for the construction of such counter. Then in the next step, we will prepare the JK transition table, and JK transition table can be obtained by making the use of JK truth table. Once we obtain the JK transition table, then we can go for the JK excitation table. And once the JK excitation table is obtained, then from that table, by using Karnaugh map, we can obtain the equations, the Boolean equations for each output of the flip-flop. And then finally, we can construct the logic circuit by making the use of these equations. So one can easily observe that as far as the design steps are concerned, there is no difference in the normal synchronous counters and odd synchronous counter. The design steps are almost same. We will go for the first counter that we want to discuss today, and this counter is being called as a modulo 5 synchronous counter. So this counter can count only 5 pulses. Now we know that this figure 5 is greater than 4 and less than 8. And therefore, in order to count the 5 pulses, what we will require is the 3 flip-flops. Because by using 2 flip-flops, you can count only 4 clock pulses. And therefore, we'll be requiring 3 flip-flops in order to count 5 clock pulses. Now, as far as the design steps are concerned, initially we will make the use of the JK truth table, and from the truth table we can prepare the JK transition table. So this is a truth table of the JK flip-flop where J and K, when they are 0, 0, then there is no change in the state of the flip-flop. Therefore, Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn. For 1, 0, the output is 1. For 0, 1, the output is 0. And when J and K are equal to 1, then there is a toggle state. That is the output Qn plus 1 is the complement of the initial state Qn. Now from this truth table, we can easily prepare the JK transition table. Now whenever there is a transition from 0 to 1, then from this table, one can easily observe that either the second row can be applied or the fourth row can be applied, because there is a transition from 0 to 1. And from second row and fourth row, one can easily observe that the value of j is equal to 1 and the value of k can be either 0 or 1, and therefore here we have written x. Similarly, whenever there is a transition from 1 to 0, then either you can make the use of the third row or fourth row, and therefore we can write j is equal to x and k is equal to 1, because in both the cases the value of k is equal to 1. Whenever there is a transition from 1 to 1, then you can make the use of the second row and you can make the use of the first row. And in both the cases, one can observe that k is 0 and the value of j can be either 0 or 1, and therefore it is written as x. And whenever there is a transition from 0 to 0, then you can make the use of the first row and then you can make the use of the third row of the JK truth table, and therefore you can make an entry 0x, because the value of j is equal to 0 and the value of k can be either 0 or 1. Now from this transition table, we can go for the JK excitation table. So the initial state is 0, 0, 0, the next state is 0, 0, 1. When the first clock pulse is applied, then initial state is 0, 0, 1, the next state is 0, 1, 0. When the second clock pulse is applied, the initial state will be 0, 1, 0 and the next state will be 0, 1, 1. When the third clock pulse is applied, then the present state will be 0, 1, 1, the next state will be 1, 0, 0. When the fourth clock pulse is applied, then the present state will be 1, 0, 0, and the next state here what we require will be 0, 0, 0, because we want to count only 5 pulses, and therefore after 1, 0, 0, 0, the next state will be 0, 0, 0. And the rest of the states we are not interested in, because we want only 5 states to our counter, and therefore all these states can be marked as X. And then from this JK transition table, we can make an entries in the columns of J2, K2, J1, K1, and J0, K0. For example, whenever there is a transition from 0 to 0, I will make an entry 0x. Whenever there is a transition from 0 to 1, I will make an entry 1x. So by using this table, we can make all such entries into the JK excitation table. Now we can make the use of the Karnaugh map in order to obtain the simplified equations. Now this is a Karnaugh map for J0. So one can easily observe that there are 3 variables, Q0, Q1 and Q2. So you need to make an entry of 1 and x in the Karnaugh map, and you can obtain an expression J0 is equal to Q2 bar. And similarly, you can obtain an expression K0 is equal to 1, then J1 is equal to Q0 and K1 is equal to Q0, and J2 is equal to Q1 into Q0 and K2 is equal to 1. So by making the use of the Karnaugh map, we can obtain the equations for J0, K0, J1, K1, J2 and K2. So these are our equations. J0 is equal to Q2 bar, K0 is equal to 1, J1 is equal to Q0, K1 is equal to Q0, J2 is equal to Q0 into Q1 and K2 is equal to 1. Now once you obtain these equations, then you can go for the logic circuit. The logic circuit is to be constructed as per the equations. So J0 will be connected to the Q2 bar and K0 will be connected to 1. J1 will be connected to Q0 and K1 will also be connected to Q0. J2 will be connected to the output of AND gate where the input of the AND gate will be Q0 and Q1 and K2 will be connected to 1. And clock terminal of all the flip-flops is made common, and also you can make the clear terminal of all the flip-flops common. So when such circuit is constructed, then one can easily observe that this circuit can count 5 clock pulses, and therefore this counter is being called as a modulo 5 synchronous counter. Now we will go for the mod 10 synchronous counter. Mod 10 synchronous counter is also called as decade counter. Now whenever we want to design a mod 10 synchronous counter, then it is possible that we can design it as we have done earlier in case of mod 5 synchronous counter. Another way to construct the mod 10 synchronous counter is by making the use of the famous IC, and this IC is being called as IC 7490, which is a decade counter IC. So mod 10 synchronous counter is a counter which can count 10 clock pulses, and this counter can be constructed by making the use of the IC 7490. IC 7490 is a mod 10 decade counter. It actually consists of 4 JK master slave flip-flop, and they are arranged so that we can have a mod 2 counter and mod 5 counter. So whenever we connect mod 2 and mod 5 together, then it is possible that we can achieve a mod 10 counter. So this is a pin diagram for IC 7490, where the pin number 1 is the input B, then there are R1, R2 connections, then there is a positive power supply connections, then there is R3 and R4 connection, and then there are outputs A, B, C and D, then there is a ground pin and there is a input pin as shown in the diagram. So pin number 1 is a clock input pin, which is many times called as the input B or input 2. Pin number 2 and 3, these are the reset pins. They are many times called as R1 and R2 pins. Pin number 4 is not connected, so there is no connection to this pin. Pin number 5 is a supply voltage pin where we can apply a positive 5 volt power supply. Pin number 6 and 7, these are again the reset pins. Pin number 8, the output pin, where we can obtain the output 3, that is QC or C only. Pin number 9 is the output 2, where we can obtain the output QB. Pin number 10 is the ground pin as shown in this diagram, where the ground pin is being connected to the ground terminal. Pin number 11 is the output 4, that is QD, and pin number 12 is the output 1, that is QA. And pin number 13 is not used or it is not connected, and pin number 14 is used for the clock input 1. Many times it is called as input A. So whenever we want to construct the mod 10 synchronous counter, then one can say that the diagram for the mod 10 synchronous counter will be something like this. Initially, we will apply the clock pulse to all the flip-flops simultaneously, and As I told you, this is a mod 2 counter and this is a mod 5 counter, and both the counters are connected together so that we can obtain the mod 10 counter. So if you want to achieve the mod 10 synchronous counter, then you need to connect the IC as shown in this diagram. The clock pulse is being applied to the clock input A or to the pin number 14. The 5 number pin is being connected to the positive power supply. R1, R2, ground, and R3, R4, or many times they are called as S1, S2. They are being connected to the ground. The output is obtained QA, QB, QC, and QD. So this is a BCD output. So when we apply before applying any clock pulse, initially there will be the counter in the reset state, and therefore the output will be 0, 0, 0, 0. When the first pulse is applied, output will be 0, 0, 0, 1. In this way, when you go on applying the pulses, then you will find that the output state of the counter will go on changing. And when we apply the 10th clock pulse, then the output will be reset to 0, 0, 0, 0. That is, this counter will have only 10 states, and therefore this counter is being called as the mod 10 synchronous counter. Now there is another type of counter, and this counter is being called as a ring counter. So you can say that ring counter is a special counter where the flip-flops are connected to each other in such a fashion that the output of the last flip-flop is connected to the input of the first flip-flop. And whenever we connect the output of the last flip-flop to the input of the first flip-flop, then it will form a kind of a ring. And that is the reason this counter is being called as a ring counter. A 4-bit ring counter, suppose you want to construct a 4-bit ring counter, then it is necessary that you can have the 4 flip-flops. Observe that the truth table of the ring counter is different from the regular truth table of the synchronous counters. So suppose I want to construct the ring counter, and this is a ring counter which consists of 4 flip-flops. So this is a 4-bit ring counter. So one can easily observe that the J0 is being connected to the Q3 and K0 is being connected to the Q3 bar. Q0 is connected to G1, Q0 bar is connected to K1. The clock terminal of all the flip-flops is made common, and also observe that the preset of the first flip-flop is connected to the clear terminals of other flip-flops, while otherwise the preset of other flip-flops is kept open or it is kept at logic 1. Similarly, Q1 is connected to J2, Q1 bar is connected to K2, Q2 is connected to J3, and Q2 bar is connected to K3. So the arrangement that we make in case of ring counter is slightly different from that of a regular synchronous counter. So one can easily observe what kind of changes that we are making here is that J0 is connected to Q3, K0 is connected to Q3 bar so that a ring can be formed. Also, the initial output Q0, we want it 1. At the same time, the output of all the other flip-flops should be equal to 0, and therefore the preset of first and the clear of others are connected together. So initially, before applying the clock pulse, when we apply 0 to the clear and 0 to the preset of first flip-flop, then the output of the counter will be 0, 0, 0, 1. When the first clock pulse is applied, the output will get changed to 0, 0, 1, 0. When the second clock pulse is applied, the output will get changed to 0, 1, 0, 0. When the third clock pulse is applied, the output will get changed to 1, 0, 0, 0. And when the fourth clock pulse is applied, the output will go back to the first state, that is 0, 0, 0, 1. So one can easily observe that this 1 is initially at Q0 and it is moving to Q1 after first clock pulse. then it will move to Q2 after second clock pulse, and it will move to Q3 after third clock pulse. So if the output of all the flip-flops are connected to the LEDs, and if the LEDs are arranged in a ring fashion, then one can easily observe that the one LED will glow at a time, and if continuously pulses are applied, then a kind of ring will be formed, and that ring will be displayed. So one can easily draw the waveforms for the ring counter. So initially the output Q0 is 1, while Q2, Q3 and Q0 will be 0. Now when we apply the first clock pulse, output Q0 will drop to 0, but Q1 will become 1. After second clock pulse, output Q2 will become 1. After third clock pulse, the output Q3 will become 1. So ring counters are special counters, and they are very useful counters. These counters are used to count the data in a continuous loop. So whenever there is a data and this data in a continuous loop, then that data can be counted by making the use of the ring counters. These counters are also used to detect the various number values or various patterns within the set of information. So if you want to detect some pattern in the set of the information, then in that case, you will find that the ring counter is a very useful counter. Thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood this concept of odd synchronous counters. Thank you all for viewing the session.